From being a championship winner since his teenage days to breaking the one major golf etiquette you'd never expect from a pro, Scottie Scheffler is one mysterious guy. And these facts will change how you see him. Like, did you know he's a big old softie? If this ain't ace love, he's got a high school sweetheart. According to Golf Magazine, Scottie Scheffler and Meredith Scheffler met in 2014 while attending Texas Highland Park High School. And guys, they have the cutest relationship. Even years of long distance had nothing on these two. Then, in 2020, they finally got hitched. Now you get to see them be certified cuties on the golf course. There's no better example of Meredith Scheffler's support for her husband, and it was plain to see at Par 3 event at the 2022 Masters at the Augusta National Golf Club. As he took on the game, Meredith was by his side, caddying for him as they appeared to be inseparable on the golf course. On April 7, 2022, Scottie posted their photos to Instagram, showing them walking together as Meredith appeared to be cleaning his clubs. Aw, but that's not all. A few days later, Meredith was seen tearing up as her husband edged toward victory in a golf tournament. We love a PDA power couple, but then if there's one thing people don't know about him, it's that Scottie is all about family and faith. He often speaks highly of his parents' dedication and hard work and reflects on how they helped him become the man he is today. According to Scottie, his parents, Scott and Diane Scheffler, are two of his biggest role models. There's a good reason for it. His mother, who was a senior attorney at a law company, supported the family on her own, while his father stayed at home with the children and took them to a variety of extracurricular activities, including, you guessed it, golf events and practices. And it appears that the family is still quite close-knit. When he won the Masters in April 2022, his wife, his parents, and two of his sisters were all present, cheering him on. But this isn't all. There's one more thing that gives him strength and support: his faith. The golfer, a devoted Christian, has talked openly about the significance of religion in his life and work, and even attributes his success on the course to God. In April 2022, Scheffler revealed during a press conference at the Masters how his faith helps him maintain his composure on the course. Then in 2019, the player gave advice to the PGA Tour and revealed how his religious beliefs have affected what he values in life.
I guess Colonial, he finished a couple hours before I did, though. I was kind of doing the golf course out there and then went out to play off, and he made a nice putt and beat me, but I've seen some stuff from him this week, and he seems to be rolling it really good again, and so it should be a great match tomorrow, and we'll go out and have some fun.
A big part of which is spending time with loved ones. Solid advice. But see, just because the guy's religious doesn't mean he can't have fun. Which brings me to a TV character he quite relates to. Bears, Beats, Battlestar Galactica. Any guesses? Yep, he loves to get his fill of good old Dwight Schrute from The Office US. And if he could, he'd morph into Jim's sworn enemy. He also said that he convinced his wife to watch the show and that they frequently binge watch on date evenings. The Office Marathon with the love of your life? Yep, I'm not jealous at all. Speaking about the love of his life,
this golf tournament today, if you lose this golf tournament by 10 shots, if you never win another golf tournament again, she goes, I'm still going to love you. You're still going to be the same person. Jesus loves you. And nothing changes. And all I'm trying to do...
Brace yourself for what's ahead. The guy is a fan of country music. I know. He's a southern kid, though, so it makes sense. Scottie Scheffler's love of country music is probably not all that surprising, given that he was raised in Texas. The celebrity has been rather open about liking a little twang in his music on numerous occasions, even naming some of his favorite artists. Scheffler was born in New Jersey and lived there until he was 6 years old before moving to Texas, which explains the kind of mix plate his playlist is. Naturally, the biggest music star in Jersey, Bruce Springsteen, is a huge favorite of the golf megastar. Scheffler said that his father, who was a huge fan of the musician, is to thank for his appreciation of the boss's music. He acknowledged that both of his hometowns have influenced his musical choice when asked about the relationship between the two, yet Texas country is what he listens to the most. Then some vintage rock from the 1970s. Guess he's got a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of country music, but a whole lot of golf. By the way, Scottie Scheffler did have a bit of a run-in with the law. It was when he was just starting out. As a kid, Scottie would go to a golf course to practice with his father and sisters, where he would eventually hit them with the balls while he worked on his swing. And get this, the police would kick them off. They were a super determined bunch though, as they would turn right back on and then be kicked out once again by the popo. Hard to imagine now when he'd be welcomed on practically any golf course. Anyway, one fine day, the course's owner eventually came out, and young Scottie said, "Could you just watch for a minute?" Needless to say, he was convinced. Despite Scottie's talent, things for the Scheffler family weren't always easy in those early days. His parents reportedly took a big risk and borrowed tens of thousands of dollars so their child could join a country club and train with a specific instructor. And this particular teacher is a huge deal.
I mean, I hit a putt today on our third hole where it was downhill left to right, and I got some phantom gust because it should have been blowing across with the break. And I hit this putt, and I hit it the exact speed that I wanted to, and it was like it hit a wall and made a U-turn.
Scottie's instructor ever since is golfing icon Randy Smith, who first began working with the champion when he was still in elementary school. You gotta agree, though, borrowing that large sum of money was a wise financial decision. Just look at Scottie's net worth right now. Well, maybe the golfing legend forgot to give him one very important lesson of never to walk in front of your opponent during the game. The world number one made a terrible mistake. He stepped over Cameron Smith's line in the FedEx St. Jude Championship first round and caused a social media explosion. As the Masters winner, his move back in August 2022 ignited Twitter with hot takes. You see, golf etiquette mandates that you go around the back of a fellow player on the green, and Smith was unprepared for this, giving Scheffler a hard stare that was caught on camera. It was something that divided spectators. Many felt it was Scheffler's way of criticizing Smith for his connections to LIV. Do you think some shade was thrown? Or has the world number one really forgotten his manners? Either way, you don't expect it from Scottie. But, he's been getting some bad press lately.
Down the stretch Sunday. It hasn't really sunk in yet for sure, but it was definitely a lot of fun, and was proud to be able to beat those guys, and they both played really good golf, and I'm looking forward to.
Scottie Scheffler snatched the top spot in the official world golf ranking recently, with the biggest victory at the Players Tournament in 17 years. He also earned his 6th victory in 13 months and the richest payout in PGA Tour history, with just 5 bogeys at TPC Sawgrass. Scheffler finished the week at 17 under, 5 shots better than Tyrrell Hatton and 7 shots ahead of Victor Hovland and Tom Hogue. And one of those bogeys really caused some people to become upset, to the point where some accused Scheffler of cheating and even made comparisons to Patrick Reed. Well, this is what happened. Scheffler made a mistake on the par 4, 434 yard at the Players, and mishit his tee shot into the left water. He dropped his ball close to the bunker and appeared to remove a loose object before taking his 3rd stroke. But by the 7th, many people weren't ready to let it slide. And believe me when I say that he moved his ball when he touched it was quite mild in comparison to some of the other ideas floating around. The majority of people who accused Scheffler of cheating agreed that his ball had moved, and that a penalty would have been given if it had been Patrick Reed or Bryson DeChambeau. Yikes! That changes things, huh? Well, that's all for the secret facts about Scottie.